Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. I hope you're well and having a beautiful day, doing whatever makes you happy in your happy space. It's a very rainy one here today, literally all day. So we are moving on with block number 11 for this week. We are almost near to the end. Well done to those of you who have stayed with me and persevered through all of the blocks. And if you haven't started yet, just make sure you do. I'm looking forward to seeing all of the quilts, okay? Now, excuse me, the blocks they're looking really good actually. I laid them all out not too long before I came on camera, just to sort of get a picture in my head of how I want to lay them out. But it looks so beautiful. I'm hoping that you would like it. I think you would fall in love with it as we are. I mean, a lot of you were really enthused about the blocks and the color placement and how they look. Sort of the whole color palette is absolutely beautiful. The quilt is coming along really well. Next week is block number 12, the last block, so pretty good. But I will tell you more next week of what I plan to do to further enhance the quilt. But for now, today's video is sponsored by Moonbin, and I'm going to tell you more about them a little bit later on. They have this really beautiful printer that I do feel is going to work really, really well for any of you, because I used it and it's absolutely wonderful. So and I thought when they contacted me and asked about if I'd like to work in collaboration with them, I thought it would be a really handy product to have in your sewing room. To be honest, I thought it was really handy, so I decided to go ahead and get it. I don't always collab, you may not know this, but I pick and choose who I collab with, and it has to do something with quilting or somewhere I can use within my sewing room. That's how I look at it, and I do feel that this is a really fantastic product that will enable you and me to really enhance your sewing. So with that being said, I'm going to take you through now how to make the block. It's a big one. It's the biggest block we've made so far, and I think you're going to love it. I'm not going to show it to you. I want to surprise you, and hopefully you fall in love with it. Do let me know when you do make yours what changes you would make in your block, because I do feel that there are some changes that can be made, and I'm more talking about color placement. And always remember, you don't have to do the blocks the way I have done mine. You can improvise and make the quilt yours, you know. And I'm so excited to see what others are going to produce, because we all do things differently, don't you? So anyway, let's move on and dive straight into the video. Leave a comment down below if you're new here. My name is Karen. Please consider subscribing and share the video out. For those of you who are always rocking with me, welcome back once again, and share the video out. It helps so much. Just those little things, like, subscribe and share, is so important to any of your content creator that you follow. Just share the video. All right guys, so I will see you in the next shot. Let's get started. All right guys, so congratulations to you if you are at this stage in your block making or following along, and well done to you. So we are at block number 11, so congratulations if you've made it this far. We only have one more block to go. All right, so let's get started. I have all of my cuts here already. I only have one portion of the, or I should say one quadrant. All right, so let's move on to the next stage. So I have my cuts here already, and I have them here in orange and white. I am using the same fat quarter bundle, so not to worry about that, even though I haven't showed it to you. I'm very impressed with that bundle. They still have lots more fabric to go. All right, so we're going to put aside the largest square for now. We have 4 sets of squares here. Okay, and obviously the instructions will tell you in the description box down below the number of squares that you need. All right, we'll be working with these two larger bits. So this is the largest of all, this is the medium size, and these are the smaller. So we're going to start with the medium size square. Okay, now what we need to do, we're working with half square triangles. We're going to be building this square in quadrants, and so I'm just laying out my fabrics here, and I'm going to put them front sides together with the white, and we're going to draw a line to the back of it as usual, and then go over to the machine and make these into half square triangles. Okay, the usual we do, I have tried to keep the sort of skill set consistent throughout, i.e. making half square triangles. I think the majority of them were at that particular point of making half square triangles. Okay, so just make sure you're centered, and you're going to draw a line at the back as usual. Once you've done that, then you can go ahead and do a 1/4 inch seam on both sides. Alright, so once you've sewn them all together, the next objective is to cut them in half, and we are going to trim them down as well as remove the dog ears. I am using some steam and to be honest, I did try doing it without giving it a little bit of a press, and I do feel that it's a little more easier. For me, handling smaller squares is always a problem because I just don't seem to grip them properly. I don't know why. But that is usually the problem for me. So I did try, give them a little press so that I can remove the dog ears. You can most likely trim first before you move the dog ears. It doesn't really matter. You can. Jackson, that's really annoying. Do not bring it back, Jackson. No, no. No, it's noisy. Right, you don't listen, I just take it away from you. Simple as that. Problem solved. So easy that was. He was playing with a plastic bottle and squashing it to death with his teeth. It's been raining outside, so I think he's a bit stir crazy. He hates getting wet. He was just doing zoomies, running up and down like a mad dog. What have you got now? Oi, what have you got? Okay, you got your bone. That's fine. You can stick with your bone. Alright, so we need to trim these down. Don't forget to trim. It's very important. Line it up using the diagonal line and just trim. I would say though that this is a very quick block. It would be interesting to see all these blocks in individual patterns to see what they look like. Well, we have seen one, haven't we? Because one of the young ladies did one, or young ladies, my apologies, one subscriber actually used the Lucky the lucky block to make up a quilt. So, and it looks really beautiful. So in essence, I've given you like 12 different ideas to make individual quilts. If you haven't, and I think lots of people who are actually not taking part has downloaded the block, so that is a plus for you, because then you've got so many ideas of making different quilts, which is brilliant. So we're trimming it to the same size as these ones here. Always remember with star blocks, it's kind of relatively important to keep the sizes consistent, so that way everything comes together nicely. I thought for a minute that I trimmed it wrong. I would have been so cross with myself. I would have to go and make an individual block. What I would say with this particular block is be very careful when you are sewing it together. It is a little bit tricky in the sense that you can twist it. I did that with one of the quadrants. Remember, I'm making these in quadrants, and I'm just showing you one quadrant here. They're all made the exact same way. So I did kind of mixed it around, so I had to unpick and do it again, which wasn't a big deal. So I would definitely say chain piece so that error doesn't occur, which I did, and wasn't paying attention and twisted on the other side. It's amazing, isn't it? You go through that hassle just to make sure you don't make an error, and you still make an error. Literally amazing. Really, really amazing. Alright, so we're done with that. Now this is where the tricky part comes in. Alright, so just be mindful of how you're actually placing them all. Make sure you trim them up nicely. And let's start to lay the block out. Alright, so let's have a look at this particular product. This product is by Moonbin. It's a portable printer that uses A4 sheet paper, but you use premium thermal paper. It's work with the phone, so let's open it up and I will tell you more about this excellent product. This is very suitable if you need to print out your patterns and recipes, etc. You can actually use it also if you run a small business at home, and you can use it for all of your printing needs in reference to posting or anything else that you require. But let's open it up and see what it looks like. It also works with your phone, which I think is absolutely excellent, and it's Bluetooth also. But let's look deeper into it. Alright, so I have plugged it into my laptop here to open up the printer, and it's just charging at the moment, but to what I just realized, it comes fully charged. To open it up, I'll show you in a minute, but to switch it on, you just go to the little teddy bear there, press it for 2 seconds or more until it turns green. It turns green, it's ready to go. To open it up, you just press these 2 buttons at the back at the same time and it flops open. It comes ready with paper also. So it goes, obviously, once you open it up, you can tell it's red. So obviously it's giving you a signal that you can't use it at the moment because it's open, just like any other printer, to be honest. Okay, turns green again. And then the next thing you'll need to do is to decide which device you want to use it on. So if you're going to be using your printer, you will then download the drivers for that particular printer. or the drivers. It gives you all of the links for any device you're going to be using it, whether it's your phone, you could be using it by Bluetooth as well, or you can actually use it with Mac as well, okay, as well as your PC, as I mentioned. It gives you all the instructions on how to operate it. There's also a website which I actually went on and had a look to see how to operate it, which is quite easy peasy, to be honest. There's also a scan link that you can scan there, and it will take you directly to a video demo of how to use this product. This is ideal for those of you who download my patterns and lose them on your system. So when you download my patterns, you can simply just literally print it out. One of the reasons I mainly got this to demonstrate to you guys is because of the patterns. So many of you download the patterns and you don't know where it's on your computer. With something like this, it's portable, it's small, it takes up very less space on your quilting table. You can download the pattern, print it out immediately. You actually get your paper as well. All right, so ideally it's beautiful. It comes in pink or gray. I chose the pink and I think it's absolutely gorgeous. Really, really. And as I said to you guys, I tell you no lie, I mainly decided was to get this because of so many of you, have trouble finding your your patterns on your computer, okay, or even on your device. You download it on your phones because it tells me what you downloaded onto, and I know many of you lose it. So something like this is ideal for something that so that you don't use on a regular basis. If you have a business, or you do deliver, or you sell items online, this is perfect for printing out labels, etc. And you don't have to worry about, it taking up too much space on your table. It's got a perforated tear there so that you can just tear the paper off. It gives you all the indications of how to use it. And I think it's beautiful. For me, I love the size. It's just so minute. I can leave it right there and still carry on with space on my table. There is a link in the description box that you can obviously use to get your discount. All right, so let's work on how to actually connect this to your phone. So you need to switch it on. So once you press the little, I call it a little teddy bear. That's what it looks like to me. You press the teddy bear, you hold it down for a couple of seconds. It comes on and it turns green, letting you know that it's on, okay? All right, so you need to make sure that you've downloaded your pattern onto your device. So you'll go to my website as usual and download the pattern that you require. You would need to go to settings and obviously go on to Bluetooth and make sure you can see that it's connected. As you can see here, that it's already connected and the printer is on green. All right, once you've done that, you need to go onto the app, which you will download the Perry Page app. It also says that on the printer there. Open up the app. Once you've opened up the app, your pattern should come up. If it doesn't, you need to go back to the home page and you will then go to document printing. You select document printing. All the documents on your phone would automatically come up. You select the pattern that you want. Once you've done that, the pattern will automatically come up. There's a green button here to print. You press that. As you can see, it's working and it starts to print on there and it's printing on there also. And there is your pattern being printed. Okay guys, so do check it out. All the details is in the description box down below. You get a beautiful printout that is black and white, and all you need to do to take part is simply just go to the details in the description box, use the code, and you can get yourself a beautiful printer. What a fantastic device, eh? So I'm going to put the discount on the screen now for the countries that it's available in, and you can get your discount, guys. Please, I would urge you to get this. This is such an important item to have as part of your quilting tool, because at the end of the day you can do this for foundation paper piecing. You can print out a pattern for foundation paper piecing and you can simply use it. Isn't that amazing? Just so quick and easy. All right guys, so let's get back to the video now, and don't forget to buy. When you buy this, do let me know. I just love the color. Just let me know how beautiful this is. What a great product. What a great product. Let's get back to the video now. So I'm going to start with this one here. We're going to be needing our background squares as well. Oops, why are you there? You're literally right behind me and you expect me not to stand on you. Honestly, Jackson, don't sit right behind me. Look how many room there is in the room here. And that's exactly where you're sitting. Not good enough. Not good enough. So when you sew this together, I want you to think of 4 patches, and I think that will make it so much more easier to get it right, literally. So 4 patches is what you need to think about. Excuse me. Now, even though it may look slightly big, it is, for this one here, it is not incorrect. Okay, remember, we are missing our 1/4 inch seams, so we need to be mindful of that. Just be careful of how you actually place in the blocks, because one wrong turn can make it seem as though it is not right. I just, you know what, I'm not very patient when it comes to these little fiddly squares. I never seem to put it, you know, how for them to stay still. I've watched others and they just put it down and it looks so nice and neat, and mine always looks like, you know, it's a card game or something. Alright, I'm going to bring the camera a little bit closer to you. Okay, so I've zoomed in a little bit, so I'm just going to separate it all so that you can see it when I pull it together. So these two come together with one of the solid color there with your background. So half square triangles facing together and your solid background. You're doing the same. The only difference is you have your solid color there with your half square triangles together, and again the same thing, background, half square triangles together. All right, you need to see that angle movement there. That sort of, it looks like a half square triangle in a way when you put it all together. So on the one side, all right, and then you bring these two together, and then same thing on the other side. So both ends or both corners is a mirror image of each other. Okay, and then your square goes in there. What it should look like, an M. That's your visual reminder, is that it should represent an M. I can see an M in the camera, so I should, you know, that has been my go-to. This is the fourth one. So remember, we're in quadrants, so this is the last one I'm making with you. So every time I make it, I just remember to see an M. And so to sew this together is a 4-patch, isn't it? So front sides together, front sides together. So what I have been doing is making the individual 4 patches, then I iron 4-patch, and then once I've done that, I bring them together. So let's go over to the sewing machine now. undo it. But before we do that, the most wisest thing to do is to build it on your smaller mat. So what I am doing here is taking everything on this mat and I'm lining it up exactly so that I don't get it twisted. Okay, remember I said that was the first thing I said to you, is that this block you can get it mixed up quite easily. All right, so just remember where your blocks go, or where your individual, I keep calling them blocks, where your individual squares go. All right, and you should see that M again. So put it on the smaller mat or build it next to where on your table where you're sewing, so that way you're not mixing it up. All right, so let's go over to the sewing machine now.
giving me wind and rain. You're some kind of butterfly.
Now all I'm going to do here is just do trimmings, basically, literally just trimmings to straighten up the edge. That's all I'm doing. I'm not really cutting it down to any size, just tidying up the edges. So we're just looking for a really small quantity to remove from there. Jackson, cut it out. Alright, so now that I have all the others here, and now one of the things I need to tell you is that I have done mine in different colors. So each quadrant is a different color. Okay, so they're all the same size. Just wanted to show you that. All of them are the same size. In fact, this will make a beautiful star for for using up scraps. Absolutely gorgeous. So we're going to start by pulling them out, and you can mix them together however you see fit, like so. And obviously we're using the turning into the smaller square into the middle. This makes a really beautiful big block. Alright, so obviously now we just sew it together as a 4 patch, and hey, we're done. Quick, simple, literally looks beautiful from the camera's view there. Alright, so what I'm going to do now is put it together. Very important, and you line up the nest and line up and nest your seams on both sides. So I'm going to go and do that and come back and present the block to you. Alright, so almost done now. So I'm just ironing the back so that it's lovely and flat. It's a very big star. As I said before, it will make a beautiful quilt all on its own. I mean, you make 10 of these or even 15 and beautiful quilts. And it does come together very quickly. I know I said it before, but I'm saying it again. Right, so once you're happy with the back, you turn it over and give it a good old press. Remember to always open up those seams. We are going to just make sure it's squared up nicely, and then just give it a little bit nice bit of a trim. Just make sure everything looks good. What you can do for variation, you can use a different color in the middle there for the star, for the white star. So you can do that just so that it's different color. So you know, you can have like each of these 4 patches here, but I like the white, to be honest. I do like the white. Alright, I think that is good. So let's give it a good old measure. Trim. And when I say trim, I mean trim here. Remember, we're not cutting down to size. We're just trimming it down. Make sure the edges line up nice and straight. Many times with stars that does tend to happen. You know, some of the fabric may stretch a little bit upon sewing in your sewing machine. You may stretch a little bit, so just trim up nicely. Try not to lose some of your points at the end. I mean, and even if you do, trust me, it is not a problem. It is not a problem. There is no quilting police here, and any investigators, and if they are, we're going to tell them to bugger off, as they say in England. Just bugger off. Do one. Do one, meaning go away. Not interested in your comments. Alright guys, so this is our 11th star. What do you think? Very big. I'm going to tell you the size. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16-inch square. Absolutely gorgeous. Lovely, lovely star. I can't wait to see this. I'm going to make this in a quilt. Absolutely gorgeous. Alright guys, so I hope you enjoyed. Bye for now. Happy quilting, and I'll definitely see you next week for the final block. And I shall let you know whether or not, obviously you would know on the day, whether or not it is for 2 blocks of the same star, that is. Alright, 2 smaller blocks. Alright guys, so this is our blooming, blossoming star. Ignore me. Alright, here you go. Bye for now. Happy quilting, and I'll see you in the next one, guys.
You're giving me wind and